Hello, it's been a minute. Welcome to No One in Particular. I am Lucy Friend. It's just going to be me. I'm going to be chatting about the World Cup, chickens, and various other animals. Yeah, I've been just enjoying this summer with my daughter. My last podcast was with my daughter Violet. So if you want to check that out, yeah, World Cup. I'm loving it. Are you loving it? Love it. Really energized. I love watching footy. It's in my culture. Love it ever since I was a kid. I even volunteered here in Richmond, Virginia, helping some kids learn footy. Can't say I've got the best skills at all, but I'm definitely passionate about it. Yeah. So, oh, sorry, USA team. My mate Ken was actually there in Seattle and sent me a video of Malik Tillman's free kick goal. Crowd was electric, buzzing, and then yeah, we all know what happened next, don't we? So, sorry USA. I am obviously I'm English, so I'm support USA too, but England is in our culture, it's in our blood, plus you got baseball and American football, we've got footy, uh, or soccer as they call it over here, which in fact I learned historically, the name soccer did sort of originate in the UK too. So I feel good about that. It's sort of an acronym for, well, it's not an acronym, it's more of a sort of slang abbreviation for association football. I thought it was just straight up Americans decided to call football soccer. So yeah, Belgium looks good, Sorry you got your ass handed to you, America, but they look bloody good. Who knows? Maybe you got your ass kicked by the world champions, or can England bring it home? Did you notice during that game how cool the Belgium away jersey was? I'm a very visual person, and I noticed their flag colors were not represented on this. It was like a cool pink vibe and turquoise blue, maybe robin's egg blue. I think we'll probably nail that color down. Anyway, it was eye catching. So I did a bit of research, and it's heavily influenced by the Belgian painter René Magritte, and it pays homage to the Belgian surrealism movement. Everyone has seen the Son of Man painting, right? Guy in a bowler hat and a suit, gray black suit, and then there's this like bright green apple dangling, floating in front of his face. Anyway, so this jersey, their away jersey, is a nod to the surrealism, and Magritte uses a lot of like spheres and moons, and also I found interesting on the inside collar of the shirt, it said, "This is not a shirt." And that is a direct nod to the treachery of images. It's very famous, like 1920s artwork, and it's just a pipe. It's a smoking pipe, and it says, "So ce n'est pas un pipe." It says, "This is not a pipe," because it's not. It's a painting of a pipe. Anyway, there were two very famous paintings by this Belgian artist, René Magritte. So that is a direct sort of reference to that. I thought that was quite cool. So yeah, so then I started looking at some other jerseys. Austria's away jersey is influenced by sort of the 19th century coffee houses, the Art Nouveau style, one of my favorite styles. You can see the golden sort of lines in there, very Art Nouveau, and marble, like a marble technique. Some people are calling it tie-dye. It's absolutely not tie-dye. It's a marble effect. We've got Morocco kits, are quite sophisticated in their detail. They include references to, the traditional Moroccan fabrics and tiles, the Arabic lettering, the Zelig tile work. Australia is probably the most eye-catching, and it's like a sunrise, a vibrant gradient transitioning from a bright coral to a deep teal green. sunrises evoke optimism. I think they chose this to symbolize sort of the forward momentum and the bright future of football in their country. Also, American listeners, Adidas. It's not Adidas, it's Adidas. Okay, it's German, that's how they pronounce it. Adidas. Anyway, I find that bloody irritating. You hear Americans say that. Adidas. Anyway, my favorite though, Cape Verde, or are we calling it Cabo Verde? I'm confused with their name. Their jerseys featured interconnected triangular pattern across the shirts. And these lines actually were quite intentional. They're a visual web representing the flight and maritime paths, the physical bridge of their 10 volcanic islands. And, this kind of mirrors Rene Magritte's philosophy of using like shapes to convey deeper abstract connections. So, yeah, I mean, you can Google all this. It's quite cool, the stories behind these teams' jerseys. Anyway, I'm arty farty. I thought that was interesting. How are you feeling about these hydration breaks? I mean, I know it's obvious for advertising dollars, isn't it? I mean, that's when the FIFA rules started changing, if you ask me, with the hydration breaks. Never been done before. How about you play matches in stadiums that have air conditioning, because there's loads of them, or you play a certain time of day when the sun's not, roasting you, or pick a different bloody state to play in if it's too hot. Anyway, so this whole debacle over the Florin Balogun and Trump getting on the blower and saying, "Hey FIFA, can you sort this out for me so he can play, against Belgium?" Like, rules are changing. FIFA amended Article 10 of the competition regulations so that certain suspensions earned in qualifying no longer carried into the finals. Yeah, so Moises Concedo from Ecuador and Argentina's Nicolas Otamendi, I probably said that wrong, were both sent off in a heated qualifier against each other in September 2005 for the This is qualifying for the World Cup, right? They were able to play, in the World Cup in the opening, so their slates were cleaned, let's say. So that was the first sort of infraction, along with the bloody hydration breaks. Also, Ronaldo was red carded against the Irish Republic. I can't remember the player in the qualifying matches, and wasn't supposed to play in the World Cup opener, but he did. So, this isn't the first time. And apparently a new article, I don't know, it's confusing. Apparently Article 27, it used to be Article 26, but now it's Article 27, allows FIFA to suspend and implement these disciplinary sanctions, but it actually doesn't say if you need to immediately serve it. It's not written, plain to see. Florin, he still has a red card. It wasn't revoked. Trump didn't revoke it. And so he still has to serve that suspension. All I'm saying is this is not the first time some shady optics, shady shit has gone down. Okay? So Trump didn't start it, all right? I didn't clear that up for you, but hopefully shed some light on that. You can research that yourself a bit more. What else? Chickens. Yeah, like I said, the last podcast with my daughter, you'll know that we have chickens. So Richmond city limits where we live, we cannot have roosters because of noise pollution. So we took 3 of the roosters we thought were roosters. Actually, one was a rooster, Cadbury. Handsome, such a gentleman too. Actually looked after all the females. And then the other 2 were actually alpha females. They had like the waddle and all that. I don't know that much about chickens, so I thought they were roosters, but it turns out they're female. But they are on a sanctuary farm called Freckles and Friends. And my daughter did a bit of research and found Cliff at Freckles and Friends, and he said, yes, bring them through. So we dropped them off. Heartbreaking. Aw. But, they're going to have a good life. They're going to be roaming around with the pigs. There was pigs, bunnies, ducks, donkeys, I think llamas. Did I say geese? Yeah, so he's taking care of all these animals. The tagline is, Cliff said, was, we don't beat 'em or eat 'em. That's Freckles and Friends. He said, God told me to take care of the animals. So he did. He and his wife, they're retired. So, yeah, gave him a nice donation. But we're going to go back in the autumn and make sure the chickens are happy. Happy chickens. But, good on Cliff and Freckles and Friends. Taking care of unwanted animals, Aw, bless. That's lovely. I'm a chicken tender. That's my job right now. I've been babying my chickens compared to when I went to Freckles and Friends. I'm like, oh yeah, they are actual wild animals. Yeah, my little Nugget. I was out there yesterday. Little Nugget, a chicken we called Nugget. Out there saying hello to Nugget. And a mozzie flew on my arm and she instantly just pecked it away from me and ate it. So thank you. Thank you very much, Nugget. And did you know only the females will bite you because they need the blood for their eggs to make other mosquito babies? Yes. I'm currently trying to make friends with some crows. Yes, you heard that right, crows. Because they will keep away the hawks. We have hawks in the area. And crows like peanuts in the shell and shiny, glittery things. So I've been leaving out some unshelled peanuts and glittery things and trying to attract some crows so they will ward off hawks. The hawks aren't, the chicken's way too much for them to just swoop down and get a chicken and fly off. They'll have to murder it, on scene. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So hoping the crows. There's actually I don't know what kind of tree it is, but probably 7 blocks down our street. There's loads of crows hang out there. But so far the squirrels have been nicking and eating the peanuts. So yeah, failing at making crow friends, but keep tuned. I'll report back to you on that. And we've been watching a neighbor's bunny while they were away. I didn't know this, but she's potty trained, so she's jumping about the house, up on the couch, jumping about, likes cuddles, and then she'll go in the cage to have a wee and a poo. So that's fabulous. They did find a tick on her the other day. I'm not really sure how a tick ended up embedded in her skin because she is an indoor animal. I hope she's all right. We also took care of some hermit crabs while it's the same people who own the bunny. No offense to a hermit crab, but why would you want them as a pet? I have no idea. True story. We were in San Padre, Texas after the first ever SpaceX launch. And we got, pissed up in a bar and there was hermit crab races. It was hilarious and you could bet on them. It was quite the scene. We had a good time. And did you know they live for 30 to 50 years in the wild? I don't know about captivity. I suppose till maybe some kid forgets to feed them, they'll die or water them, I noticed on my last podcast, I didn't ask my daughter what music moved her, and I normally ask all my guests that before we end. Lately, I've been digging into the archives of some of the music that I just love. Roisin Murphy, the album Hit Parade. I love that album, all of it. LTJ Bookham, Progression Sessions, been heavy into that. And Oasis, I've been inspired by the World Cup. Can the Three Lions do it? I don't know, only time will tell. I'm going to watch all the games. Have a wonderful summer. Come on, England.